chocolate milk!
Hey, it's Larry here, Xbox Live's Major Nelson.
Hey, everybody, I'm Ryan McCaffrey with IGN.
How's it going, folks? I'm Graham Boyd, Xbox Live's AC Bongos.
Hello, my name is David Braben. I'm CEO of Frontier Developments.
This is Aaron Greenberg. I lead the Xbox Games marketing team. I'm very excited to be talking with the Party Chat podcast.
It's the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit.
And you are listening to the Party Chat podcast.
And welcome to the Xbox One Party Chat podcast.
Xbox on.
Game on, baby! Wow! Bruh.
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Let's do this.
Hello and welcome to Xbox One Party Chat podcast, the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit. I'm your host, Ross Miller, the podfather even. I forgot one name. And this week I'm joined by our MV Cheese. It's Rhys.
What is up?
And the queen of cosplay is Carina.
I was going to repeat what Rhys said, but it weren't going to come out like Rhys said. I just killed my entrance.
Oh, wow. I mean, you're not that great at intros, but wow.
Oh, no, I was basically going to say the same thing, but it was just not going to come out the same.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Well, Uncle Jesse is away doing Uncle Jesse things like usual, but we have a very special guest joining us for this episode. It's Xbox UK's own Charleyy.
I think we'll have a little bit less on that very special thing, but I'm very happy to be here.
Take special any way you want.
Yes, exactly.
So, Charleyy, you are just joining us on this podcast because Uncle Jesse isn't here, and we're so glad to have you. But some of our listeners might not know who you are. So, before we go on for regular sections, why don't you tell all of Reddit who you are and what you do?
I'm the person who, if you decide to shout things at on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram directly towards at Xbox UK, it's me who has to reply to you and look at it all and decide what's meme worthy. That's me.
A professional memologist.
Exactly. A meme farmer, if you will. But I suppose if you want to put it in short terms, I'm the community manager for Xbox UK.
Yay.
Very nice. Yeah, I like me. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
I might have to take memologist, actually.
I'm pretty sure I just came up with that, but don't quote me.
Or copyright it immediately.
Yes.
You've been very understated here because you don't only do the social channels for Xbox. You're quite well known on Mixer, not only for a couple of shows, but your own channel. Do you want to tell us some more about that?
Yeah, so as regularly as I can, because I've got my own family and bits and pieces on the side, I like to stream myself on Mixer. But then on a Wednesday and a Thursday, I host two of Mixer's front page shows. On a Wednesday, doing the Ultimate Gaming Challenge with Benny Central. And on Thursday, I do Mixer's Top 7 of Everything with Sean, which is super fun and definitely doesn't feel like work. And yeah, it's kind of been an insane year so far.
Top 7 is great. Just let me cut in here and say that. It's one of my favorite Mixer shows. It's really funny.
Oh, thank you so much.
See, I prefer the challenges. I know you posted some on social media, but I was talking to Benny a few months ago, and he showed me the very nice photos of you did the Skyfall challenge. I think it was.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and you had a very nice makeup artistry done, and I've seen the photos of you traveling with that. I must admit, you must have got a lot of looks on that.
Well, that was super annoying because part of the forfeit, so brief context, the challenge was we had to land in 3 swimming pools after doing the Skyfall challenge in GTA 5 without dying or landing outside the pool. So you couldn't land outside the pool and bounce in. You had to land in a pool and survive. It was insane. And the forfeit that the viewers had voted for that night was for the other person to do their makeup. Obviously, I lost that one because Benny did the challenge. So Benny covered myself with tattoos. He played noughts and crosses on my cheek. He wrote #Team Benny across my forehead. And we said, wouldn't it be really funny? Because Charleyy doesn't care about what other people think of her. If we do loads of videos and pictures of Charleyy commuting home with her entire face looking the way it does, and then we can show them as a highlight at the beginning of the next show. So as I've just heard, you've seen all the pictures. Benny didn't send them to the production team, so they didn't appear ever again. And I just went home looking like that for no reason, apparently. I'm clearly not bitter about it either, so it's great. It's fine. Don't worry, Benny.
Not even slightly bitter. No, none of that.
Not at all. But it doesn't matter because I'm winning at the moment, and I'm terrible at the challenges, but no one likes Benny in the votes. So if Benny doesn't win a show, I always get the audience vote, and I think that's the real winner at the end of the day.
Right, well, we usually actually start this podcast as well with what we have been playing. So I'm going to go to you, Charleyy, first. What have you been playing this week?
I haven't been able to stop playing Fortnite, and I'm sure that's the answer you could ask the majority of the people on this planet right now. But having only got into Fortnite about midway through season 3, and then I enjoyed it because I did it on stream. It was a bit of fun, and then I found myself doing it more and more in my free time. And I promised myself I wouldn't get the battle pass until season 4. I did it the day it dropped, and literally all I want to do is all the challenges. And I saw today that they're doing an Avengers theme like this week at some point. So that's the rest of my free time gone.
It's all I've seen on Twitter in the last couple of hours, just that Thanos is coming.
Oh, by the way, no Infinity War spoilers, please. I think I'm also the only other person who hasn't seen the movie.
No, absolutely
okay.
not.
I've still not seen it yet.
Oh, thank God.
Batman dies.
Now, we've all said that live on a microphone, so I can expect only people on Twitter to spoil it for us now. We may have just ruined this.
I'm going to spend the rest of this thinking how can you drop in spoilers knowing that they're spoilers.
It's like people keep doing those context, like no context spoilers at the moment. So I keep seeing like the disintegration meme, and I'm like, this is definitely something to do with the movie, but I have no idea what they're on about.
Okay. I promise I will not spoil.
Thank you so much, Podfather.
I will neither confirm nor... Wait, did you just actually address him as the Podfather?
He is our Podfather, okay? That's all I'm going to call him about.
It's the first time ever. No, so seriously.
So happy.
Respect for my president, okay?
You've made his day.
Rhys, what about you? What have you been...
I've actually been playing a ton of video games this week. I have been playing a bit of Borderlands 2 because I always come back to it every now and again.
Oh, such a good game.
Started a new character. I'm playing the Necromancer this time. Haven't played through that. So it's actually very fun. I have been playing, obviously, quite a bit of this week's Game of the Week, which we will get back to. I played a little bit of an indie game that came out this week that's free to play called Korgan, and I really, really, really did not enjoy that. I'm sorry, guys. Not really my cup of tea. Games I did enjoy that I played, though, is I played some more of Owlboy, got pretty far in that, and I played more Phantom Trigger again. And that game is really, really, really hard, and my controller was very nearly broken on multiple occasions, especially while playing with mixer interaction turned on, where everyone can just come in and troll you. Mwah, it's wonderful. And also on the weekend, I played like 4 or 5 hours straight of Sea of Thieves with my cousins in Australia, and we did some Australian and / Finnish pirating, and that was excellent. I had a great time.
So what's the difference between Australian and Finnish pirating over the rest of the world?
You're going to have to bleep this, but a lot more use of the word
Oh, yeah.
like a lot more. Like seriously, a lot more. And it gets slung back and forth. Like when you pull alongside a ship, like when you come within there's the sort of locational chat. When you come within range, that word just goes flying back and forth between ships even more than cannonballs. Yeah, that's basically the only difference.
You realise I'm Scottish, don't you? And that's like a typical word about you.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Ross's normal greeting.
Yeah, true, very true. I have to play on some Scottish servers then. But no, it was great fun. We actually decided this time to not do any quests and just go hunting for other ships. And we ruined so many people's days. It was absolutely fantastic.
You're the player that I hate.
It's not Sea of Friends, Ross.
Exactly. Every time I've played it, all we do, again, I don't know what the censorship is on this, but every single time we play, we always start off the game by saying, shall we be bastards tonight? And we just go and wait for people. And then that's all we do. And it's absolutely fantastic. I've never had more fun playing that game than when I'm being deliciously evil.
Absolutely. It's just the best. That feeling of watching another ship sink to the bottom as the guy floats in the waves screaming obscenities at you. It's just like, Mwah, It's
I've never had
delicious.
anyone return that pain to me, though, so maybe I'll hate it when someone backstabs me. Well, the jury's out on that one.
The most irritating thing someone has ever done is climb aboard our ship and run around in circles eating our bananas while we all sort of frantically ran around the lower decks trying to catch this guy while he ate the bananas. That was one of the weirdest things I have ever experienced in a game, period. But yeah, no, Sea of Thieves is still lots of fun. Really looking forward to the content drop that comes out this month, I think. The what is it called? Something to do with Hungering Deep. Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Poor Emma's like that. Oh, we've been on your podcast 5 times and you don't even read what the name of our release is.
Sorry, Emma.
Tweet her right now.
No, don't. She doesn't need to know. Well, she probably will be listening, so yeah, but sorry.
Carina, what Battle Royale game have you been playing this week?
What Battle Royale haven't I been playing? Oh, I played Just Cause 3.
Wow.
I played something else.
Something else?
Oh my god, something different. No, it was because it was free with gold for the weekend, so I decided to play it. I didn't really know what to do. Figured out I can't fly that well and just blew everything up, and that was my gameplay.
Very nice. Very nice.
Made everything explode. I didn't mind it. It seems a bit clunky. I don't know. I was quite excited to try it because I played it, I think, EGX maybe 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. But never bought the game. Just saw it there on shelves and stuff like that and gameplays. But no, it was nice to give it a go. I enjoyed what I played. I think it's finished, unless it finishes today, being the bank holiday. But no, I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know. It doesn't make me want to go buy the game, but it was nice.
You can get it for like £2 in CEX. I'm not like really going to miss it.
Oh, right, okay. I might buy it for two quid if I don't have anything else to play. But well, you know what I'm like with Battle Royale games, so
I'm a little bit scared of when Radical Heights comes to the Xbox as well.
Yeah,
that's another that's going to bring your repertoire of games up to 3.
I mean, 3 whole games. I don't know about that one. I've been watching that one.
I just remember how excited you were for Destiny 2, and that really worked out well for me.
They're bringing out the expansion soon. I need to watch that trailer still. They're bringing out Warmind. Come on 2 days. Oh well, that's wow. That says a lot when I don't even know where it comes out. What else did I play? Yeah, I've been playing the same as Charleyy, a lot of Battle Royale with Fortnite. I finally bought my very first Battle Pass. I was waiting for Season 4 and did the same thing. I refused to buy it, but then I earned enough V-Bucks on Save the World to get the Battle Pass, and I've literally been playing it non-stop since. I think I stopped once for a little bit of PUBG, because it gets to a point where if we get salty on one game, we have to move to the other Battle Royale game, and then get salty again and change over, and it's just a big loop of salt. But yeah, no, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. I'm trying to get, I think tier 71 is the well, I want to say Wonder Woman, but you can't say that. I think it's called Vala or something skin. I really want that skin.
Oh yeah, she's gorgeous.
Very, very nice. Definitely want that one, but it means binge playing Fortnite, so no doubt I will be not that that makes any difference to my gameplay life, but that's what I will be doing for the next few weeks. I managed to get all the challenges for this week. I'm curious to what they'll bring next week. And with the Avengers dropping today, well, about an hour ago, that should make a big difference to the game. Hopefully.
Right. So for me, I went back to an old favourite of mine, and that is Rocket League. Would you believe?
You went back to Rocket League. I'm surprised you left.
To Rocket League. I know.
That's it now. Ross is going to be hidden in the Rocket League shadows.
I hadn't actually been back in the game since they introduced tournaments. And man, I am awesome at that game.
And modest too.
Yeah. Not quite flying about awesome, everywhere and getting amazing shots. But compared to the general population, yeah, I can kick ass. That's not decided, but yeah. Apart from that, I had a small shot of our indie game of the week and played some PUBG with you, Carina. I think we played 2 rounds though.
I'm about to say we didn't do a lot, but we've played some.
But anyway, I think that's probably a good moment to move on to our indie game of the week. Rhys, what is our indie game of the week this week?
Our indie game of the week this week is Death Road to Canada, which is made by the fellows over at Rocket Cat Games, and it is a isometric pixel art roguelike sort of zombie apocalypse adventure game, sort of what is that? What's that game? It's a very classic game that every American listener will be familiar with. Oregon Trail. Oregon Trail. Imagine Oregon Trail during the zombie apocalypse, and then you've got Death Road to Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Okay, so
it's a roguelike with permadeath.
Yeah, no, it's not. That sort of sells it short. So I'll sort of explain the game to you, especially for those non-Americans who never played Oregon Trail. What happens is you create your character, or you can have random ones. I, of course, made someone, like I made everyone from the podcast, and I gave us all random attributes, and my attribute is that I'm irritating. So I was like, that's perfect. I kept it. And everyone has sort of like an ability. And my ability, the only thing I can do in the game is I can tell people to cool it. So that it's in caps locks too. So it's more like, cool it. And that's all I can do. And whenever I say it, like, it's always a dialogue option. Always. And whenever I say it, it basically ruins everything. So, of course, I say it all the time. But what happens is you pick your character and you start off on the Death Road to Canada. And you've got like a car and fuel and food and like all these sorts of supplies. And then you'll drive for a bit and like stuff will randomly appear in text. Like the people in the car will start talking to each other or whatever. And then all of a sudden you'll have like a random event. And it might be like, you guys, one of my characters literally stubbed their toe and died at one point. Like it can just be random, and then it keeps going. And then every now and again you'll stop and actually get out of the car and walk around in the gameplay aspect where there's like all the zombies and you have to like loot houses and fight the zombies, and then get back in the car with your loot and drive away. And you can find new people and meet new characters. And it's just really, really stupid and really, really funny, and the most random stuff in the world can happen. I met a character, like I met an anime protagonist who was like a girl. She was basically the Sailor Moon, and she could shoot like love hearts and beams. I met the world's last bodybuilder, who's like this big muscly dude, and all he does is flex. Like if you press attack, he just flexes, and that's it. Like he does nothing else but that. It's just really, really stupid, but funny. And it's also local co-op.
So it's 2-player local co-op, is that right? Or is it 4-player?
Two players. You can have,
I did see 2.
You can have 4 people in the crew, but I'm pretty sure it's only 2 people at once playing. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's only 2.
See, I spent most of my time sidestepping enemies. The combat in it is quite minimal. It's what you'd expect in a game like this, but you can literally just sidestep them until you get involved in a bit called a siege.
Oh god, that's the worst.
Right. So literally it is like they fire you into the smallest area that they can possibly get and throw waves upon waves of zombies at you until basically you die. It's very, very hard to get yourself out of it.
You're meant to just hold out until, I mean, the game is designed to kill you, so it makes sense, but they can feel so cheap.
But a bit like PUBG, you do sort of get to the area, then you basically loot the entire area, sidestepping all the zombies, or that's maybe just me. But then when you do get to back to the car, the other side of it kicks in, which is basically a text adventure.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when the random text comes up, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, it's different, it's a lot of fun, there's a lot of pop culture in it, like you can get yourself a hot dog car.
Yes. Jason joined my crew once, and members of my crew just decided to up and leave, and it was very mysterious, but no one could figure out what was happening. Like, obviously, he was killing them, but everyone was oblivious. It's great.
Overall, you picked this as your game of the week, Rhys. Why is it the game of the week for the Party Chat podcast this week?
Because it's releasing this week, and it's just a great game, and it costs very little money, and it's just a whole bunch of fun, and everyone should try out this quirky, funny little game. There's nothing else quite like it, and it's just really good. You should try it, honestly.
If you want to get yourself a copy of this game, make sure you're following us on Twitter at Party Chat Pod. This coming Friday, we will be doing another Free Code Friday contest and giving away a copy of the game. So all you have to do is find that tweet and retweet it. Make sure you're following us, and that's it. You could win yourself a copy of this week's Indie Game of the Week. But let's find out what's been happening in the subreddit this week.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat podcast. This week in the subreddit.
First up from the subreddit this week is the new Red Dead trailer that dropped within the last 7 days. Guys, are you as hyped for this game as me? And I'm going to start with you, Charley.
I'm going to see if I can take as much time off work as possible to play this game. I'm going to be one of those people. I have such an emotional connection to Red Dead Redemption that even just hearing that this game was coming out set me off in some sort of like anxiety hives of, oh my God, my future's coming. So yeah, I guess you could say I'm really looking forward to this one.
I've got a confession to make.
Go on.
I've never played the first one.
Neither have I.
Here instead doing this?
I've never played the first one, and I don't want to.
Oh, God.
I don't want to.
Well, you don't want to?
No, in the bin.
Oh.
Sorry, the trash.
Yeah.
I am just going to give you guys a very quick, sneaky hint preview. If none of you have played Redemption, don't watch Top 7 on Thursday because we're talking gaming twists and I might be bringing it up. So, just to let you know.
I'm going to watch it anyway because I have no intention of playing Red Dead.
I want to play this game. Now, there's one thing that Rockstar do well, and that is a trailer. Come on.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
The trailer's amazing. And they've got me hyped for a game that I've got no personal attachment to. You know, I'm really looking forward to this to the point where I don't want to really go back and play the first one in case it doesn't live up to my expectation and I ruin my own hype. But from what everyone's told me is I'm being an idiot and I should just go and play it now because it's
especially now that it's been enhanced as well. It's not like you'd go back and have to drag yourself through a really crappy looking game. Even back then it looked incredible. I replayed it before it went enhanced actually, and it's just, God, it's spectacular. Such a good looking game.
I'm going to do it. I've got a couple of weeks off around E3 time, and I think that's going to be my game for those weeks.
You will need a couple weeks. If you're anything like me, you'll find yourself stood on top of a train with a woman hogtied in front of you, trying to shoot birds out the sky and knife fighting cougars in the woods. You will get that deep into this game.
That's what I usually do with my 2 weeks off.
Yeah, I was going to say that's.
I didn't want to presume.
Right, Carina, why? I know you are hyped for this. Why, if you've not played the original?
I don't know. I'm just not really. I panic a lot. These games aren't great for how much I panic. These are really
sudden cougar attack.
And yet you play a lot of battle royale games. Those set me off.
They're the worst. But that's what makes it so funny.
How do you handle the animal attacks in the Far Cry series?
Oh, that wasn't too bad because I was doing the animal attacks because I had my cougar and Cheeseburger the bear, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh, right.
It was me. See? That's bad. I don't know. I'm quite excited for the second one just because I've heard so much and from what, appears so far, it looks really good, but I haven't played the first. But the question is, should I play the first before the second? Is there any point? Do I go straight to the second? Do I do it the second and then the first one? It's like,
isn't this one going to be a prequel?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the prequel to Redemption, and Redemption, I'm unsure is either the sequel or is in parallel with Red Dead Revolver, which came out a few years before that. But as far as I'm aware, there isn't that much connection. But I'm happy to be proved wrong on that one.
Rhys, why do you not like this game already?
I don't like open world games. I don't like cowboys, and I have basically no interest in anything to do with the game.
You don't like open world?
No, I could almost go as far as to say I hate open world sandbox games.
Wow.
I know, right? Give me a good story driven linear game. That's what makes me happy.
Like a hallway game.
Not a hallway. I don't mind if it opens up a little bit, but just like an open world sandbox, I just don't like it. When I was younger, I might have really enjoyed it, but I just don't have the time. I just really don't enjoy them. If you look at my gamer tag, I've not played any of the Tom Clancy games. I've not played any of the basically the only Ubisoft open world games I play are Assassin's Creed, and that's basically it.
But you can't say that you like Assassin's Creed and then you don't like open world.
Well, I do, because I don't actually explore anywhere. I just follow the story, and I get so tilted because they sort of gate you. Especially in Assassin's Creed Origins, they gate the story missions behind level requirements. Ooh, that made me mad.
What about Witcher 3?
Witcher 3, I never finished it. I played it for like 8 hours, and then every time I opened the game up, I almost felt insulted because it was so large. And if I've got like an hour to play, and you've got an hour to play, and you've got The Witcher 3 in front of you, you do nothing in an hour. You don't accomplish anything. So it felt like I wasn't doing anything, and I just got really frustrated and stopped playing it.
Charley, I feel sorry for you. I feel as if we set you up here.
It's fine.
I'm sorry if I'm triggering you. I know I'm in the minority here. I know I'm.
It's interesting.
I'm a bit scared of Charley as well. So
no.
Scared?
Good time.
You're actually like the first person. No, you're not the first person this week to tell me you're scared of me. Yeah. And I'd like you to go further on that, because I'm unsure how I'm that intimidating.
Yeah. Should I be worried here? Like, what's going on?
I have to explain it. If I'm honest, you should just know.
Do I give off that vibe? Is that what it is?
It's the vibe. I was once in a train going through London, and this girl got on with stuff written all over her face. She was okay, and she just stared at me. That was it. All done.
I didn't need to say anything else.
Right, what else has been happening in the subreddit this week, Rhys?
User Masood T collected a really cool list of the top 10 games in all the regions on Xbox Live. Spoilers. It's Fortnite. But it's actually really, really cool. He went into a lot of effort. Like, if you want to know what they're playing in the Emirates, in France or Germany, and it's basically number one is Fortnite everywhere except, Japan and China. I think Russia too. So it's Fortnite. The guys like Epic have got to be really, really satisfied with themselves right now. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think to see the difference in tastes. Like, for example, FIFA does not appear anywhere in the States, but they've got NBA, and then the rest of the world is like the complete opposite. And Brazil has like 3 different football games. That's soccer for you Americans. And yeah, it's just really cool sort of infograph to see how the tastes differ.
And I believe that the official Xbox Insiders community space is live on Reddit this week. Rhys, do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure can. Essentially, the Xbox Insiders program has moved from the Microsoft forums because they are aware that the forums that they had were not so great, and they heard you loud and clear. And so they're shutting down the forums, and they moved over to Reddit. And the URL is reddit.com/Xbox/r/Xbox Insiders. And it's full of Microsoft staff, and it's got a few also community moderators like myself and Mikey J. Raymond and Arwen from the Xbox One sub, and also a few people who you might be familiar with, like, for example, Scratch. I believe Scratch was quite involved in the Xbox forums beforehand. And yeah, it's just a cool place that you can go and talk about the Insider program, if that's your thing.
Xbox Snap this week's interview.
So, as you noticed, and we asked some questions earlier on about Charley, but we want to know a little bit more about you. You've mentioned the 2...
That sound.
Here we go.
But, you've mentioned the 2 shows. Why don't you explain what the 2 shows are? Like, the top 7 is probably quite explanatory, but give us some examples of the top 7s that you've done.
Sure. So, top 7 is me and Sean. So we're basically at the beginning of the week, me and Sean are told, here are the 2 lists that you're going to be doing for the whole show. We do one for the first half, one for the second half. We pick 3 answers that we think suit what this list is going to be. We then deuce it out between us, have a fight, and every 2 suggestions after we finish presenting them, the mix of viewers get to vote which one they preferred out of the 2. That then goes into a leaderboard. And then when we got the top 6, we mine all the comments of the people who are willingly giving us their opinions in the messages, to take what their their top four answers are for the brief too. And then that gets into the top 7. And then after that, you get to vote on the overall order of the list. So, for example, the other week we had our top 7 most likable baddies. I went in with Handsome Jack. Sean went in with Uncle Death. I went in with GLaDOS, who I think actually won that week. But then the mixer audience suggested Claptrap, and then Claptrap I think ended up second as well. So it's a nice chat between, a chat that normally turns into me fighting and getting competitive, even though it's not a competition. As we argue about things. This week, for example, the one that went live last week, we were discussing which video game characters have the best hairstyles, in which Sean just lost his dang mind shouting at me saying that Princess Peach had the most basic hairstyle of all time after he had tried to pitch that Max Payne hair was exciting, even though he has got the most generic white male video game character design hair I've ever seen. No offense, Max Payne. Yeah.
I think you mean no offense, Sam Lake.
Yeah, because Sam Lake is based upon a real person.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the CEO of Remedy. No, that's not the CEO. Sorry, the head writer, the head creator.
Sorry,
he's
my
like
dude.
the writer.
I'm sure that's great too, but not so much in the game.
He does the face on request as well.
Oh my god! Of course he does.
We'll move on. And so your other show, which you do, is the Ultimate Gaming Challenge. We've heard about one of the more obscene challenges. Would you say obscene? Getting sent home with drawings in your face? Yeah, that's pretty obscene.
Yeah, so that's one of the more visual forfeits I've had walking out of the building. Basically, the whole show is me and Benny every week until we sit down at the desk and the show goes live. We have no clue what game we're doing or what the challenge is going to be. We do our intro, we say hello. I normally mispronounce the name. It's great, it's fun. And then we both find out live on air what the challenge is going to be. Last week we did Dragon Ball Fighters, and we had to do, you know what? I'm not even going to try and pronounce the names of the things we had to do because they were so difficult, but I nearly won that one. We've done Goat Simulator. We did a Fortnite scavenger hunt where you had to find specific guns and a specific quantity of materials, but instead of just finding them and having them in your inventory, you then had to kill someone but using only hip fire. So there was times when I had all the materials but I then killed somebody and I didn't hip fire, so I didn't count that on my list. So it's not just playing any old games. It's literally an ultimate gaming challenge. And then we have forfeits such as Electric Shocks, Bean Boozled, Custard Pie. Sean last week did a helium challenge.
Sorry, what? Boozled?
Bean Boozled. It's a Harry Potter every flavor bean. It's like that. So you can get ones that taste like toothpaste or vomit. Yeah,
we've done that in my office, and it's the vomit one. The grass one is amazing.
So when I lost that week, and I had toothpaste, grass clippings, and bubble gum, and I'm like, this is all fine. And then I remember Benny saying, "This is stupid. Let me have a go." And he got a vomit one, and he literally walked off set, and I had to end the show without him. It was that bad. It's his fault. He didn't have to.
Now, not only that, you recently started streaming on your own channel as well.
Yeah, so about a year ago, actually, just before a year ago, I started on Twitch. I had fun with it, but I never really felt like I vibed with the community, and I thought that might have been a me thing. And then I had this whole episode summer last year when I wrote an article on Kotaku about basically, long story short, I noticed a culture in which women are hunted for sport on camera and trolled, and I had absolutely none of it. So I wrote an article about it, and I think I ended up changing Twitch's terms and conditions about restreaming other streams. And then because of all of this, I decided to just stop streaming altogether. I didn't want to go anywhere near it. And then at the beginning of this year, way before Mixer contacted me about doing any of their shows, I just got that bug to stream again. So I started on Mixer, and I've only been doing my channel once a week since January, and I'm coming up 1K, and it's way further than I ever got on Twitch, and I feel so much closer to the community that I have. And yeah, like I said, I just have this bug. I just want to do it all the time and talk to everyone. And I think the features that Mixer has in place to moderate and get smaller streamers up front is just the perfect place to go for people who do just want to dip their toe into the idea of content creation. And for me, it's just worked super well. And I can't thank Mixer enough themselves for actually, for some reason, letting me host 2 of their own shows as well.
Why do you think Mixer's a good platform for a new streamer?
So I think, it's stuff like on the front page, I feel like it's easier to find people, and this is no negative on Twitch whatsoever, but Twitch is so oversaturated because so many people go there and do such incredible things that I found, even if I was playing, I think I was playing GTA one night, or maybe Overwatch, which are always really, really high up. I was featured so far down that only people who would find me through my Twitter or wherever I'd promoted it elsewhere would actually come see me. And it was very difficult to attract other new viewers. Whereas on Mixer, on the front page, before you click anywhere else, along the top, they do have up and coming streamers, and it feels like they jump people around more often so they get more airtime. And it's just stuff like, I do Fortnite, and even though I'm absolutely garbage at Fortnite, when I end up in the top 10 for whatever reason I've hid and duped my way to the top, that if you get in Hype Zone, it's a huge boost for your channel as well. And I've had times where I've hung out with some of my favorite streamers like Fixate, or I've spoke to Jazzy, and if they raid you back, that gives you a ton of viewers as well. And stuff like that never happened on Twitch. And as I said, I've only been here since January, and I felt so much closer to people who are leagues above me. I just feel very, very, very much accepted, and that this is a place where I can set some roots and actually do some really good work here.
You know, we have a pretty good streamer of our own right here, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Ross, yeah, absolutely fantastic.
No, Ross's son's brilliant streamer.
My 7-year-old son, he's been coming in and he's been learning it, and I've been really encouraging him to do it, because although he is
brilliant
at that age, he grew up with Dan TDM on videos.
Mm-hmm.
He understands presenting.
It's funny you say that, actually, because my daughter, it was a couple weeks ago, just looked me dead in the eye and asked me if we could record a gaming video. And so I set up, because she sees my lights and my cameras that I do, because I always have to set it up just before she goes to bed. So I set it all up for her. She wasn't camera shy at all. And she did this whole intro to Disneyland Adventures. Remember that we're English. And she just went, "Hey guys, welcome to Disneyland Adventures. Make sure you hit subscribe." And I was like, what are you doing? What is this person? It was phenomenal.
It's a different generation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, Charley. You've witnessed that, and you've got your passion in gaming and things like that, and your kid maybe has a similar passion or wants to share that with you. It's a lovely feeling just knowing that they're alongside you for that ride and you can do something together.
Yes, absolutely. She's great at playing games. Obviously, she's only 6. She's just turned 6, so she can't play some of the games she wants to. But it's things, particularly, she's really into Fortnite at the moment. And so she just asked me to play it all the time. And she wasn't too keen on it at the beginning because she couldn't handle the tension levels. But now she understands the game and hiding. She always makes me go to Lucky Landing. She always makes me pick up a minigun. And she makes me chop down every tree, even if there are people around me. And she gets so into it that it makes you think. Whenever we have conversations with people of a similar age to ourselves and we go, "Oh, I remember when I was younger, I got into it because I was playing with my mum or my dad and we did this." And I just kind of have those out of body experiences where I look at her and I'm like, actually, we're probably doing stuff now that years down the line, she might recollect and go, "It was this moment when I played Fortnite with my mum, or I watched her on her Mixer show that cemented this love for whatever it is that I have now." And like, if she wants me to play Fortnite, I'm down anyway. But if it's going to mean something to her in the future, then it's just even more. I think passion should be followed when they're this young, big time.
Agreed. Fully agreed. And Evan told me last week that he was so happy, that's my son, and he was so happy because he got to stream with Carina. And I'm like, she's not that impressive.
No, let's be serious, I'm not that great. I just hide in bushes in Fortnite. But if he gets me top 10, that's all that matters.
Now, Mixer is a place where the unexpected can happen at any moment, and with that in mind, Charley, I want you to explain what bruh is.
Oh my God. So this literally started last week. The few times I've streamed, I always seem to miss when alerts happen because I have them, they visibly pop up. And because I'm so focused on the game, all my eyes look directly at chat to see what's going on. I've missed a couple of times if people have done donations or if they've followed. And because it's quite a small community at the moment, I like to thank everyone who drops by or even says hi or whatever. So I felt really, really bad. And I was so down in the dumps about the fact that I hadn't seen these that I reached out to a couple of my friends like Bob and Scruffy and Jake, who are my mods, who also stream for themselves. Hi guys, by the way. I said your names. You're very, very welcome.
Bob's on this more than anyone. Don't mention him.
I just wanted to mention him too, so he has a clean sweep. He knows I love him. So I asked them what the best way to make sure I didn't miss these pop-ups would be, since my headset was plugged into the game, which meant that my laptop was completely muted. I didn't know what was going on. And they said to plug my headphones into my laptop and have them tucked in under my Xbox headphones. I thought, oh, that's such a good idea. So then I set up audio alerts, and me being me, I mostly wanted to have Vine references or other dumb noises appear. So I thought, I literally just purely coincidental, I just put bruh as my follower noise, thinking I'd hear it once or twice a night. And as I mentioned before, I'm really good friends with Fix, who is an incredible Fortnite streamer. He's got about 1,000 solo wins under his belt, easy. Every day he streams, he gets 15 more solo wins. It's ridiculous. It's thoroughly impressive. I raided him once. I've spoke to him quite a lot. And last Monday he raided me. And I reached one of my highest peak concurrent viewers of 300 people. And at that point, everyone started hitting the follow button. And there is just a clip out there from me about 30 minutes trying to play this goddamn game. And all I can hear is bruh, just nonstop. And I think people then just kept hitting it, even if they didn't want to follow me, just to keep the noise going. And then people were donating, and then it would be like a bruh alarm, and it just kept making a stupid combination of other sounds. And when we raided someone at the end of the night, even though I didn't tell them to do this, everyone decided to go into this new guy's chat and just shout bruh again. So I feel like I have a name stapled for myself as the bruh girl, and I apologize if that ever appears in any of your feeds.
Well, you created a meme. As a professional memeologist, this shouldn't surprise you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to do the meme. It was an accidental meme, but I'm going to capitalize on it. And if I ever get sub-emotes, that's going to be the first one.
Now, I want to talk about your day job being the community manager for Xbox UK and on social channels and things like that. How does that feel to do it for such a big brand as Xbox UK?
It's, so before I started, it was horrifying. I got the job and I never thought I'd be able to make my way to something because I always wanted to be a game journalist or game PR, something to do with games. And I thought maybe a few decades hard graft, I'd maybe be close to Microsoft, who have always been my main console. I haven't had a PlayStation since the 2. So for me, Xbox was always what I was going to go for. And to be headhunted by them and given this job, I was completely blindsided by it until they said, yeah, you got it. Here's the password for Twitter and Facebook with 2 million followers. I was just beans. Now I have to talk to people. And if I get caught off guard, it's going to be so embarrassing. So the first few months, I found myself triple checking everything I did. And I always wanted to reply to people because I felt like I just wanted to prove I knew what they were on about. And it's just got to this point now where I mostly feel like I'm dicking around with them and I'll just send them dumb stuff or sass them. In fact, one of my favorite moments that I like to do, we were streaming Fortnite Season 4 last Tuesday, because of course we were. And because it's me and I'm really, really bad, as anyone will see on my Mixer show, I decided to land in the new Dusty Divot. So I was commenting in chat, how soon do you think I'm going to die? And everyone was laughing at how bad I was and was saying, lol, you're trash, lol, you're terrible. So I just like to frequently remind people by saying, lol, I'm the community manager of Xbox UK and not a pro esports player, because people like to think that because you're Xbox, you're obviously the greatest human being alive. So any opportunity to prove that I'm just a normal person and correct people who refer to the Xbox brand as boy or man or dude. I never remind them it's a girl because it's unnecessary, but I like to keep the channels as gender ambiguous as possible. So I always refer to ourselves as a person or a non-gender focused social media brand. And it's nice to see some people respond to that. It's probably a weird thing to do, but I think Xbox and gaming and stuff like that is so male focused. People like to think that a nice little reminder that actually this is ran by a woman, but that's unnecessary because we're just people at the end of the day. So that's one of the main things I've tried to do in the years since I've been there. But it's been really fun. It's a lot better now. I'm used to it, and I feel like the channel's my own and not just this huge body that I'm controlling and trying not to mess up and do things wrong with, which was really scary at first.
What's next for Charleyy?
So what's next for me is, I have no idea. I know Mixer are sending me out to E3 this year, and I'm going to be doing both of my shows on their main stage. From there, I have no idea. I'd like to stay at Xbox for just as long as they can bear me. That's the biggest goal I have right now. Same with Mixer, is just to keep turning up and being on camera until they just go, Charleyy, we politely ask you to just go home now. I think one thing I love, if I'm to put a dream out in the world and hope for the best, people like Major Nelson and Graham Boyd, who are faces of Xbox, Aaron Greenberg, etc.
Yep.
They are phenomenal US side on-screen talent. And I would love to have a UK counterpart. And if we ever need that role to be filled, I would love to think that could be me.
Oh, we
AC Bongos.
UK stuff.
Yeah, we need more UK stuff. We need more females. We need more people of color. And I'd like to think if we're going to tick any of those boxes, I'm here and I'm ready. That's all I'm going to say. If anyone out there is listening.
Yeah, you can definitely fill the gap left by AC.
Yes, definitely.
It's sad that he went to the UK.
Yeah.
Went from the UK.
Did I say to the UK? From the UK. English.
Yeah.
Great language.
Is that like just the Scottish person being over in the States doing the great work that he is, plug away, tell us where we can see you, tell us everything so that we can get as much Charleyy as we can actually take, which is a lot.
If you wanted to see more of me after you've been annoyed by me on this?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You can find me on Twitter at Charleyy. I should have checked this. It's Charleyy Rachel, as far as I'm aware, but that's spelt weird, so we might have to write that down somewhere. Or I'm on Mixer. It's Charleyy, though. Or, as I said, if you just want to have bants with the Xbox UK social page, that's me too.
Superb.
Yeah.
Now, I did give you some advanced warning on a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And the one question that all the listeners to this podcast need to hear from you, first of all, is which classic video game character would you knock out with one punch and why?
So, I thought long and hard about this, and it's a real dumb answer, but because I'm not very good at giving good answers, this is my best option. So, my other half's favorite game in the entire world, he'll go so far to call it as a masterpiece, is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I'm sure very many people will agree. I have never played that game because I can't get past the stupid bike mission at the beginning. So I want to punch CJ. That's my entire answer. I haven't played that game because the hours I've put into trying to do that goddamn bike, and it won't happen, and I won't let anyone else play it for me. So I'd punch him. Honest to God, I'd punch him.
I see a future gaming challenge. Just Charleyy.
I'm going to forward that in an email right now.
Oh, the rage quit would be insane.
We've not had CJ before. We've had lots of anime, surprisingly.
Interesting.
Yeah, but CJ is one that we've not had. Now, lastly, before we go, we did introduce a new feature last week, and that is what game or series would you put in the trash? Of course, last week we had Rich Stone from True Achievement saying that he would put all RPGs in the bin. Or in
huge
the trash.
statement.
In the trash.
That is a huge,
yeah, he just went straight for the entire genre. 0 to 100, like, okay.
Everything, get out in the sea.
So we're going to put up on Twitter to see if people agree with you, but what would you throw firmly in the trash?
Okay, another one. As a creature of the internet, I cut the cord ages ago. I barely watch TV. So for me, the internet is where I get all my culture, everything that I watch, YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, you name it. I've seen it all. And so for me, the game series I would like to throw in the trash is the scourge that took over YouTube that is Five Nights at Freddy's. I've had enough of it. I don't care about the movie coming up. I think once you've had the first jump scare in the first game and you know the mechanic, we didn't need the rest of them. So yeah, that's my choice. Get rid of them.
So is it just because you're sick of it? There's too much?
Yeah, I'm a fan of horror movies, and I've played a couple horror games, even though I'm not quite so good at them. And I think it's cheap horror to me. I like something that's going to chill me to my core, something like Dead Space, Amnesia, Layers of Fear, PT, those games that literally like root themselves into your psychosis and make you never want to move your body in case one of those creatures come get you. And Freddy to me was just like, there's one jump scare. Now I know what it is. And I guess I just have to not do that again. And didn't they make like 5 games out of it? It was too much for me. And seeing Markiplier make 10 million videos of him pulling the same face, freaking out over whatever the stupid bird was called. I could have lived without it.
See, my kid loves Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, he doesn't play the games. He just likes watching videos. So I don't know. I'm going to support him, and I don't think this should go in the.
I also think you should support your kid here.
He's got Five Nights at Freddy's teddy bears that he takes to bed. And that's the last thing I'd want to take into bed when I'm sleeping.
It's the last thing I'd want to see anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like thousands of people do not want to be security guards at pizza shops anymore. But that's an interesting answer. We're going to put that out on Twitter, and you can decide if Five Nights at Freddy's, Charley's choice for this week, goes firmly in the trash or not. And then we'll let her know with a little image later on in the week anyway.
Because
Charleyy,
because the internet is like always objectively correct 100% of the time.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Charleyy, thank you for taking the time out your busy schedule to join us. But I think this is the end of another episode. So for another week, Xbox, turn off.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast, the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit.
Let's do this.
Bruh.